Remember a time when the internet wasn't a cesspool? When Nickelback was not the lazy comedian's punchline? When The Last Jedi or Ghostbusters didn't ruin anyone's childhood? We do. Nickelbackin' is a monthly podcast hosted by three longtime friends who really just need an excuse to shoot the shit. But in the meantime, they'll call out some internet hyperbole bullshit while they're at it. Do you secretly enjoy the smooth taste of Dunkin' Donuts coffee? Maybe you're a fan of the work of Jim Carrey. Hell, maybe you even like Nickelback. We don't, but we're in their corner, and by default, we're in your corner too. Listen to Nickelbackin' on the Zero Science Network, wherever you download podcasts.
Be cool, Daddy-O. Because hell is a musical, hell is a musical. Musical, hell. Stuck with Travolta and other people that you hate, but you have to do it anyway. Stuck in musical hell. With Lilz and Scott.
Hello and welcome to Hell is a Musical, where the road to hell is paved with choreographed and razzmatazz intentions. I'm Scott.
Hello, I'm Christopher Walken, and I'm here too.
I thought you were
today.
Gonna say I'm Lil Walken.
Who's Lil? I don't know who that is.
It's like
I'm Christopher.
It's a tinier version of Christopher Walken, Lil Walken.
That's very clever, Scott. They should give you a trophy. Nice little trophy you could put up on the mantle.
My little gal.
Oh, there's another Christopher Walken here joining us today.
Hi, Christopher.
Are you the Christopher Walken arrive?
Oh, three Christopher Walkens. What was the possibility?
Which one is the Christopher Walken who killed Natalie Wood with Robert Wagner?
Okay. I'm not actually Christopher Walken. I'm Lilz.
Yeah, and I'm still Scott. And our guest, do you want to introduce her?
Yes, our special guest, Jenna Sokalski from the web show Weird Crushes.
Hello. Thank you both so much for having me on.
No problem.
Whom I had previously had on as a guest on Jukebox Zeros, and we did not have fun.
Oh no, I am still so sorry I picked that album. And to call it an album is frankly quite generous.
It's okay. I picked River of Dreams, so. But yeah, so
yeah.
What? so we actually have something good for you that I liked. Apparently, Lilz didn't.
I don't really know how I feel still just yet.
I feel
even though I watched it last night, and even though I've had several hours to marinate on it, I still don't know how I feel about it entirely, except to say that I'm pretty sure I don't like it.
Is this going to be like with Once, where the more we talk about it, you go from not really liking it to liking it?
I liked Once.
But when we first started the podcast, before we recorded, you're like, I don't know how I feel, so let's record it. And then by the end, you're like, oh, yeah, I really liked it.
Okay. I mean, I don't know, maybe.
This is our chance to brainwash her.
Yes.
No.
Join our cult.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No, I don't like brainwashing stuff.
So Lillian, what did we watch?
We watched the 2007 movie musical remake of Hairspray.
Yeah. That's good night, everyone.
That's what we did.
All right, cue the
that
ending.
Sure is what we did.
But who's at the return of? Our good buddy Sandy.
Sandy.
John
Travolta.
Now it's Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Hey, baby, look at me. I'm the cutest chickie that you ever did see. Hey, Tracy, hey, baby, look at us. There's a masseuse on my caboose. I was like, okay, so in our last episode, it sounded a year ago when we did Grease, it sounded like I hate John Travolta. I do not hate John Travolta. I think he is on a par with Nicolas Cage, who has such a great sense of humor about themselves, but he does make shit. He does make absolute dog shit. This one was like him tongue-in-cheekily being like, I know I make bad movies, but this one, I'm in a dress.
Ooh.
Well, also...
John Travolta in drag and in a fat suit.
Well, okay, so... He's playing the role of Edna Turnblad, who was played by Divine.
Right.
So I don't understand why they didn't go with, like, Dame Edna or...
Oh, don't go with Dame Edna. Dame Edna sucks.
Well, Harvey Fierstein was the original. They should have went with Harvey Fierstein.
But Harvey Fierstein doesn't sell movie tickets.
Not to them, but to me. Harvey is my world. Don't you see behind me my giant poster? David, I gotta go to Parnassus to my mother. Oh, crap.
Says goodnight to you every night.
No, so the original, like, casting, I went through everything of this production. So... Lilz, do you know anything about the production of Hairspray? Besides,
not particularly, no.
Okay, so in
I know it was directed by Adam Shankman, who's like a big choreographer, director of music videos, and a director of just tons and tons of bullshit.
Yes, but this is, of all the bullshit he's made, this is the only thing that I've liked that he's ever made. And he basically took the rights from Mark Shaman, who did the musical. So this is based on the 1988 movie Hairspray of the same name, which
originally by I almost said Roger Waters, John Waters.
Oh man, I want to see Roger Waters Hairspray. It'll be trippy. You know, Christopher Walken or Wilbur Turnblad will have like a face where his crotch should be, and then it just vomits. Roger Waters Hairspray.
It would be timeless to me.
So in the early 2000s, they were basically taking movies and turning them into musicals. At this time, they did Hairspray, they did The Producers. Trying to remember the third one that did really, really well. And then after that, it just became...
Okay, so they're to blame for that trend.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shut up.
I will do no such thing.
Say it's slander and libel. Say the thing. Say the thing you say. So basically what happened was the Producers movie was such a success that they were going to do the original Broadway cast, but 5 to 6 years had passed since this premiered in 2002, and everyone was now in their, like, 30s. So it would have been weird to see Marissa Jarrett. Is that how you say it?
I think it's like Marissa Jarrett Wincourt.
Yeah. Jarrett was her maiden name, but Wincourt, I believe, is her married name. And Harvey Fierstein, and for some reason, Matthew Morrison from Glee was Link Larkin, the teacher from Glee. But he was replaced by Andrew Rannells, who we talked about in The Prom.
Oh yes, we like Andrew Rannells here.
Yes. Why won't
one of the few bright shining spots of that shitty movie?
Why won't they just make Book of Mormon the musical into a movie? Like, I'm waiting. I've been waiting so long.
I've asked about this with Seuss because she's also a huge fan of Book of Mormon, and she is very adamant that, like, if they do make a Book of Mormon movie musical, it has to be animated in the style of South Park.
Actually, I want it animated in the style of Disney Renaissance.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Because they make so many... they don't understand that Uganda is not where The Lion King takes place. And Josh Gad's character is like, oh, like in The Lion King, Africa. I know that place. So they need to make it animated. And... that way you can still get Andrew Rannells. And this part's probably going to get cut up. Anyways, so...
and they'll find some way to shoehorn Alan Tudyk into it because he belongs to Disney now.
Well, it's funny that you mention Alan Tudyk, because originally he was on the short list to play a role in this movie.
Really?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Can anyone guess?
I I feel like
Corny?
Yeah, that
Corny
would be my
Collins.
guess too.
So the list went. It was Jake Gyllenhaal and Ashton Kutcher, and James Marsden and Alan Tudyk. And James Marsden said to his agent, when Kutcher and Gyllenhaal say no, that's when good old Jimmy will get his turn to shine. And that's literally what happened. The reason why he got the role is because Julia Roberts saw him at the lunch meeting between Adam Shankman and Mark Shaman and goes, I loved you in The Notebook. And they're like, oh yeah, you were in that. You want this part? And they just whipped out contracts right there and then. Like an Animaniacs cartoon.
I loved you in X-Men.
Because, well, that's what he was saying. He's like, I replaced Jim Caviezel in X-Men. I just replace people when they can't get the person.
Jim Caviezel was originally going to be an X-Men?
He was going to be Cyclops.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yep. Yeah, and John Travolta was supposed to play Professor X.
Okay, you definitely made that part up.
What if I didn't?
Then I'd have to make some phone calls.
Okay, one thing that I'm not making up, John Travolta was on the short list in the 80s to play Batman.
Oh, no.
Before Michael Keaton, John Travolta was on that list. So it would have been him, Christopher Walken, and Michelle Pfeiffer if he had played Batman for Batman Returns.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god, that is a wild alternate universe.
Yeah, so the casting of this movie, Travolta was like a last-minute choice because they couldn't think of anyone because everyone else said no. Robin Williams said no. Steve Martin said no. Tom Hanks said no.
Okay, now this is also another alternate universe that I'm morbidly curious to see.
I want to see Tom Hanks in Hairspray. Hey,
Yes.
Tracy, hey, baby, look at me.
I mean, maybe this... I don't know. I feel like some of these are not very creative choices.
Yeah.
If you think about it...
Okay, who are you going to get? Steve Martin, Robin Williams? You're literally just picking the most A-list the A-list of the A-list comedic actors and not even thinking about, whether they would be good or not.
Steve Martin doesn't make sense, but Robin Williams and Tom Hanks actually do because of Bosom Buddies and because of Mrs. Doubtfire. But still, fuck that casting choice. I'm all for Harvey Fierstein. That's why I liked when they did the live Hairspray and they had Harvey Fierstein back.
Very nice.
Because I want someone with a voice that sounds like a pepper grinder.
And also, I guess that was also just kind of part of the original gag, was that it was just this big gravelly voice coming out of the mom.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if Divine didn't die in the 80s, it still would have been Divine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is how we would have got the resurgence of Divine. So, yeah. Anyone want to guess who almost played Christopher Walken?
I'm gonna guess Martin Short because he was the character in the live one, but there's probably no way that's true.
No, there were only two other choices besides Walken, and John Travolta demanded Christopher Walken. Billy Crystal.
Oh, boy.
And Jim Broadbent.
What?
This family's in the Canary Islands.
Oh, boy. That would have been a big swing, I feel like.
No one can see this, but Jenna's face looks like she's about to implode.
This feels like the most wild alternate universe with every sort of alternate sort of casting decision. I'm like, wow, there is a completely different movie hiding in here somewhere.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because, this is the, early aughts, before 2010. So that's when they were making weird shit left and right. So, yeah. And this is the last thing before we get into the movie. Sorry I'm hijacking this, but there's one thing that I based this whole almost casting on because I know it's going to piss off Lilz. Keep in mind, Lilz, I love you. I'm not saying this to make you angry.
Where are you going with this?
But they wanted... They wanted Queen Latifah, but the person who asked to play Motormouth Mabel that they said no and wouldn't give an audition to was Aretha Franklin. You do not turn down Aretha Franklin.
Wow.
Why are you punching the air?
That feels like a pretty big whiff. They wouldn't even give her an audition.
Yeah, they better think.
Wow.
They need to show some respect. Shoop. So yeah.
Oh boy, I mean, Queen Latifah was good in this movie, but to not even give an audition to Aretha Franklin, that's wild.
It's because Queen Latifah worked with Adam Shankman on that bad Steve Martin, Eugene Levy movie that they did together, and she had just been nominated for Chicago like 3 years previous. So they're like, yeah,
right.
Everyone loves Queen Latifah.
She was hot in the public consciousness.
Yeah, we need Taxi star Queen Latifah.
Shall we get into the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you want to give us a synopsis, Jenna, of what Hairspray is about?
Okay, so Hairspray is about the pleasantly plump teen, Tracy Turnblad, who aspires to be a dancer on the Corny Collins show. Systemic racism.
Or what's the other job she wants besides dancer?
The other
First
job
female president.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Female president. And her first rule as female president, she would make every day Negro Day, which is the once a month segregated black-only showing of the Corny Collins show that's hosted by Motormouth Maybelle.
Yeah, and it also has the greatest character in the entire movie, which is Seaweed.
Oh, yes. Bless Seaweed and his sweet dance moves.
Seaweed is my constant in this film. Seaweed and Corny are my two like constants in this film. I'm like, yeah, these two, they're great.
Oh, yes. Bless Corny Collins as well.
Well, that's just because he's James Marsden, and we're all fans of, The Notebook and Second Noah, his canceled TV show and his underrated movie. Just kidding. It's not underrated. I don't like The Notebook.
Anyways, do you want me to still continue with the synopsis?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So in this quest to become part of the Corny Collins show, Negro Day is canceled, and because racism was really shitty, and it is still shitty now, but in the context of this movie, it is very shitty. Which inspires Tracy Turnblad to use her privilege and status to stage a protest for with Motormouth Maybelle.
To march at WZZT.
Yes, WZZT, yes.
I just know that because I know all of the call signs for bad TV stations from the South. There's WZZT, there's WKLP.
Yep.
In Cincinnati.
And so after batting a police officer with a protest sign, she is arrested. Or no, she's not arrested in the movie.
She flees.
She's on the run from the police.
She's on the run from the police. Yes,
I think she gets arrested in the original.
Yes, she does. She does. Yes, and so she's hiding out in her friend Penny Pingleton's bunker. All her friends
to avoid communism. Because it's the early 60s. Everyone's afraid of communism.
Exactly. Her friends set her free, and she crashes the Miss Hairspray pageant, and in a twist,
everyone dies.
Everyone dies from the scent of hairspray.
But actually, hairspray was the cause of so many deaths because if you inhale too much, like it acts like a glue. So in your lungs, it will like suffocate you.
Oh God!
So I wonder what they were using on the movie instead of hairspray, because I know they weren't using hairspray. They had to be using water or, Pam cooking spray.
Asbestos.
What if they were just using cooking spray?
Everybody spray your hair with Pam.
Everyone smells like butter at the end of it.
So, yeah, that's basically what happens in the movie. This was a 100-day shoot or 90-day shoot, and 45 days into filming the movie, Michelle Pfeiffer had the realization. She goes to Adam Shankman, the director, and she goes, "Oh my God, is my character racist?"
What?
45 days into filming this movie.
Wow.
When
She
you
didn't know
have
for
lines like, I want to steer this show in the white direction. How do you not put the two and two together?
Yeah. And
Yeah, that character is very subtle.
she's as subtle as a brick to the face. And
Yeah,
she-
so super subtle.
yeah, she was the casting of Travolta because Travolta wanted to work with Michelle Pfeiffer, and the studio was like, John, Michelle Pfeiffer hasn't starred in a movie in like 10 years. And he's like, I don't care. If you want me
to do it.
And like apparently Travolta's demands on this movie were insane. He had to pick the fat suit, he had to pick the makeup team, he had to pick everything that was not just his character, but to thank everyone, he sang Summer Lovin' in between takes.
Cool. Buy everyone lunch or something, or, something tangible, but okay, sing a song from, your 1950s movie.
They should have got Tom Hanks. He buys Pink's hot dogs for everyone, beginning and end of every shoot. I know this because someone worked on a Tom Hanks movie, and they said there was hot dogs at the beginning and end of the shoot.
There was hot dogs everywhere.
Hot dog
There-
apocalypse.
The hot dog apocalypse. Oh, and we kind of did this bit by accident in our once episode, but they kind of have that Wawa accent, the Philadelphia.
Well,
It's-
I mean,
It's
like
Baltimore, but yeah.
John Travolta does, and nobody else does.
Right. And
But I think, like John Travolta's character's accent is thick enough, I guess, to make up for the entire population of Baltimore not doing
drinking rum and cokes and hobnobbing with the hoi polloi.
No, Tracy, don't do that.
What is that? The wickedy chicken? A little
The
twitchy?
stricken chicken.
Like,
You want some water ice?
Do you think that
I'm at the
Christopher,
Wawa.
do you think that Christopher Walken had no idea that was John Travolta? And he's like, who is this young ingenue? She's talented. She's amazing.
She's so fetching. It's doing strange things to my heart.
If she was the type of
pants.
person who would go onto a boat with me and Robert Wagner.
Why do you keep bringing that up?
I'm not saying that he did it. I'm just saying if you're at the scene of the crime.
Oh, God.
I just want to see your face every time I say that. Don't you know
I
by
can't-
now, a year doing this podcast, I just say things to see how you're going to react to them.
Why can't we just have a nice Christopher Walken impression without the sting of potential murder sort of hovering overhead? Fine.
John Travolta, I kept this watch up my ass. Better?
I don't want this anymore. You've tainted it.
I'm sorry. When we do Peter Pan, we
No, you're not.
We're not doing Peter Pan on
I
this?
know. No, I know you're not sorry.
I'm a little sorry. I do love Christopher Walken. Anyways,
Anyway,
no, but Christopher Walken in this movie, he just looks kind of adorable in his little costumes. Like, I think it's the scene when Tracy becomes a star, and he's got his little like straw hat and his yellow bow tie with her face on it, and he's like, they come in different colors. You can get the wig too, or the Tracy whoopee cushion. Good choice. And like, he just looks adorable. But I do believe Christopher Walken is a guy who doesn't realize that someone is hitting on him.
I can kind of see that too.
Seems plausible.
I
Christopher-
would go one step further to say, and this is not like a slam against Christopher Walken, because this is absolutely one of the things that makes him so darn adorable and endearing. But almost none of the lines that he delivered, like the way he delivered them, made sense in the context of the movie.
If you have a dream, you gotta go for it.
Like, I forget exactly when this was, but I distinctly remember there was a scene where, like, someone says something, I think, like, Tracy says something, and all he has to do is respond and say, what? But he just says, like, what?
We did 20
Yeah.
takes, and that's the best one.
It was when she goes, "I'm gonna be on TV," and he goes, "What?" That's his.
What?
That's his Mark Wahlberg. What? No. Yeah, that's his Wahlberg moment. But yeah, so
We got a transformer.
I think we just if they replace Mark Wahlberg with Christopher Walken in the last 2 or 3 Transformers movies, like I would have bought out every.
I would have been all on board.
Oh,
Yeah.
completely.
Guys, I think we found a Transformer.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, so this was like around the time where Christopher Walken just wanted to be in musicals because 2 years later or 3 years later, he would buy the rights to give over to Clint Eastwood to do Jersey Boys because he wanted to play the mob boss in Jersey Boys.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yes, but
I mean, that's one way to get it.
that's the other thing that Travolta did is he bought the rights for Hairspray. Like as soon as they casted him, he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be a producer now too." Oh, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Yeah, I'm going to be a producer too, Tracy.
Yeah, this is all mine now.
I do love when Jerry Stiller. You know why Jerry Stiller's in this movie, right?
Because he was in the original,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he was the original Wilbur Turnblad. I just love when Travolta's like, "Tracy, eat your donuts. Flattery will get you nowhere, Mr. Pinky." And then he's like, "What are you? 32 double D? Triple E." I'm like, "Oh, Travolta, no. No. No."
No,
No.
I didn't want this in my life.
I will say, as horrible as Michelle Pfeiffer is as a character, she is pretty damn good in this movie.
Oh yeah, completely.
And the fact that she didn't know for 45 days that she was not only the villain, but also a huge racist, her character was. The
thing with like acting is that it's like you have to believe like 100% that your character is in the right. Like you don't go into it knowing like, "Oh, I'm so evil." But like, I guess just real people just will believe that no, they are doing the right thing. They are the hero of their own story. But I guess that just lack of awareness kind of helps.
I know. And also, they originally were going to go with, before John Travolta put his foot down and said, "No, we're going to go with, my good friend Michelle Pfeiffer." They were going to cast Madonna because Debbie Harry played the original Velma Von Tussle. So they're like, we need someone who is a music icon because most of the original Hairspray is singers. Debbie Harry, Sonny Bono, Vitamin C. Vitamin C is the original Amber Von Tussle. She went by her real name of whatever the fuck that was.
She's not named Vitamin C.
Her real name is not Vitamin C.
Shit, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Leslie.
Are you positive her real name's not Vitamin C?
No, I
Colleen
believe
Fitzpatrick.
I believe it's a calcium supplement. That's not my real name. My real name is B. Paulin 12. But like the idea of doing this as a musical is not a terrible idea. Like if you look at the original Hairspray, it leans its way to be a musical, but they're just using old 1950s standards. In the original, they're just dancing, and then in this one, they're just singing. It's fun, damn it.
I don't know if I quite agree with that, just because, like, so here's what I think that's part of what's made my opinion on whether I like this movie or not so complicated for me.
My family was killed by John Travolta.
I haven't seen the original. I will admit that up front. But like, I like that John Waters existed, in a sort of like, the way that he did all sorts of stuff for artistic expression and First Amendment rights and stuff like that. So many decades later, however, I feel like his style, his aesthetic, and all that sort of stuff. Maybe this hit differently when it actually came out in the aughts, but it just feels really just unfocused, and like it's all just like it doesn't hit the same way. It's just unfocused id for me a lot of the time. I mean, this could also be that, you know, that same sort of shock comedy has been neutered because there's also musical numbers. That's just, you know, my immediate thoughts on it.
Yeah, because if we look at the movies that came out this year, this movie is PG, and the original Hairspray is PG. But this is supposed to be like a shock movie, but a musical. And it was sandwiched in between, I think this was the fourth biggest like comedy of that summer. It goes Knocked Up, The Simpsons movie, and Superbad. And in between that is Hairspray. Now, if you turn to page 52 in our textbooks, let's go through the history of John Waters. Did you like the fact that John Waters was in this movie?
I mean, that was neat.
But he plays a flasher.
I assume he was in the original too.
Yeah, he plays the doctor, Tracy's doctor, in it.
Yes, the doctor.
Now, Tracy. That's my John Waters
character. The doctor character, whom I know so well.
Well,
from the movie musical.
Jenna? You said you were going to rewatch the original. Did you end up watching the original?
I could not find it, unfortunately. But I did look up some key differences in plot.
Yeah.
And like plot and musical numbers between like just both the movie, the Broadway musical, the movie musical adaptation.
Yeah, because in this, as we said before, Tracy flat out goes to prison.
Yep.
In both the original movie and the show.
Yeah.
In this, she whacks a person with a sign and then runs away.
Yep.
And that also, the Broadway show, doesn't it end with Velma Von Tussle going to prison?
I can't remember if that's like how it ends in the Broadway musical, but I definitely remember that that her and Amber are a lot less involved in the finale.
Yeah.
What exactly would she go to prison for?
For
voter fraud?
Voter fraud.
Rigging the Miss Teenage Hairspray pageant.
Yeah, there also is a ridiculous resolution at the end of the Broadway show where the character who Paul Dooley plays goes, I just got a call from
the studio executive guy.
But he's not the studio executive. He owns the Hairspray. No, he just owns the Hairspray company that owns the studio.
Oh.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was like, you know, the higher up, like higher in the hierarchy than Velma for some reason.
I thought so too, but he said that, you know, I guess he runs Ultra Clutch Hairspray because he says my Hairspray ad revenues have gone up because of that girl, because of Tracy. What did he say to that little communist girl? I was waiting for like this movie to take a dark turn, and she and Dalton Trumbo are like before Joseph McCarthy at the witch trails. Huh. Miss Turnblad, now are you or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? To the best of my recollection, no. I just love the idea of the tiny little microphone and Tracy Turnblad like clearing her throat to move her face forward and talking into it. Mr. Senator.
I do not believe that, and that's it.
But yeah, so they also never say she gets a full pardon in the Broadway show too. The governor calls, gives her a pardon, and then basically change it. They do like a Quentin Tarantino style of they change history where now everything is, you know, integrated. And people can be with whoever they want, which is
and there's long shots of people's feet,
and that's yes. There's tons of foot close-ups. Uma Thurman shows up and wiggles her big toe. But one thing that I saw in the research, I don't know if you saw this, Jenna, but the reason why in the musical there's the line we'll call the NAACP is because of at this time Seaweed and Penny would have gone to prison for dating.
I don't think I saw that part.
Yeah, because it wasn't until 1967 that they made it okay. So, like, if you look at, like, how kind of
depressing some of the undertones of this movie are. Like, it's like, wait, why are we laughing?
Yeah, that was something that kind of like stuck out to me in that last number. Like, everyone's celebrating, everyone's happy that there's like all this integration going on, and then, you know, Tracy and Link just start making out, and all I could think of was like, it's not 1965 yet, it's the early 60s. They should, like, someone would have just been like, oh my god, like, oh my god, they're kissing like the French do.
Yeah, also,
on television.
Tracy's haircut at the end of the movie is apparently that is like a 70s haircut.
Yeah, like, I mean, I knew it looked too modern, like, for that final scene.
Yeah, I thought it was just more kind of hippie-ish. but that still would have been way too early.
Yeah. So, okay.
Unless the implication is not only did Tracy Turnblad save all of the black people, but she invented the hippie movement as well.
I believe she is a Time Lord. She is like the doctor. We'll call her the nurse practitioner. And and she travels in a giant VW bug.
I kind of like this headcanon now.
The nurse practitioner and her companion, Scruffy. Schlamply. Now, nurse practitioner, what do we do? We dance!
Wait. It's Scruffy from Futurama.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not going to question this. Okay.
I mean, well, we got to get the musical theater crowd, we got to get the sci-fi crowd, and we got to get our animation domination Sunday people.
It's the most perfect intersection.
We need all of our Comic-Con nerds.
We got to fill the Venn diagram.
Damn it, Lillian, we need Hall H at Comic-Con. If we ever get a Comic-Con again.
Oh, sad.
No more virtual Comic-Cons. Bring on James Marsden dancing instead of signing autographs. Was anyone shocked that he could actually sing?
Well, like, I know he was in Enchanted, like,
that was a year
that came out
after
the
this.
same year.
Oh, it was the same year?
Yep.
Okay.
And he also sung in that, so it's not terribly surprising, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, well, this came out first.
Yeah.
Because Enchanted was a Christmas movie. So, like, I don't know. I just know him from, like, shitty sitcoms in the 90s. So to see James Marsden dancing and singing, I'm like, no. You're that douchebag from Saved by the Bell, the new class. Now shoot lasers out of your eyes.
And then so many decades later, he would be the go-to for giving CGI characters a ride.
Hey, Sonic, can't you run really fast? Why do I have to give you a ride? Reasons. Good enough for me. Get in. Hey, Hop, can't you hop really fast? Why do I have to give you a ride? Reasons.
CGI
Oh, wait.
Uber.
Oh,
I don't think the character's name was Hop.
I'm calling him Hop.
Hop.
It's just Russell.
All right.
You got to tell me if you're a cop. You have to tell me if you're a cop. So, yeah, but the entire movie is just three things literally happen. She wants to be on the show. She gets on the show. Then she gets kicked off the show. And then then the fourth thing that happens is she has this elaborate Steven Soderbergh Ocean's 11 heist go on. There needed to be like a walking talk with just like her and Motormouth Mabel and Seaweed.
You
and
son
Penny.
of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Oh man, how are we gonna get in? Hold on, let me go to the computer, and it's this giant box that she's just plugging giant. Because hey, it's the 60s.
Punch cards.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
rolls of film.
Also, why is there a random nanny for Inez? Like, Motormouth Mabel has a Mary Poppins style nanny for Inez.
Wait, when was this?
When she's like, Mom, I want to march with you, and she goes, no, you're gonna stay here with the babysitter. And this woman wearing a hat is just like gives a little nod. She's like, you stay here.
I completely missed that part.
Same. And I've seen this movie a bajillion times.
I watched it 3 times this week because I also noticed little things like Brenda, the girl who had to take a medical leave for 9 months. You literally can see in the first scene of the movie, Michelle Pfeiffer, when Link and Amber are talking, you can see Michelle Pfeiffer in the background going up to her, patting her on the stomach, and she says something like, "I know."
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Or there's like another part where it's like Link gives like Amber a ring, and then like Brenda in the background is just like clutching her stomach, very sad and insecure.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that got a little, yeah.
Dark events in the background.
I mean, that's what...
Maybe that's where all the John Waters edge ended up going into.
Well, John Waters is the master of doing stuff in the background of stuff.
Hmm.
And then he also has, like, old film references from 60s movies that no one knows because they're, like, old Russ Meyer movies.
Where were we?
But
Where are we talking about?
yeah, also, don't judge me. I actually like Zac Efron. I think he's not a terrible actor, and I actually like the choices he's made lately. Not playing Ted Bundy, which I'm convinced that Link Larkin is just Ted Bundy. He got kicked
Just
off his
waiting
show.
to happen.
Yeah, he got kicked off the Courtney Collins show, ended up marrying someone who wasn't Tracy, and then just went around killing people.
Oh boy.
Well, that's the clip they use now when they're like, yeah, and everyone's favorite Ted Bundy actor, Zac Efron, and then they do the "You Can't Stop the Beat."
I'm not going to rip on Zac Efron just because he was in the annoying Disney movie.
Well, he dropped out of the annoying Disney movie to be in this. Or the tour of the annoying Disney musical to be in this.
But yeah, like it was decades ago. I don't care that he was in High School Musical, like still.
Yeah, but this is the movie that made me actually like Zac Efron. And you're just shitting on my dreams.
Am I?
Him and I could be best friends, and that's what you're jealous about.
You don't
That I'm going to replace
understand
you. that I'm going to replace you with Zac Efron. Isn't that it?
I mean, I wasn't thinking that until you just said that.
Is that why you have Zac Efron tied up behind you?
Zach,
Anybody.
if you can see us, blink twice.
No, Zach's perfectly fine back here. He's happy. Yeah, did you hear him? He just said hap. Like hap, as in happy.
Oh, Zach.
Go to the next scene.
Okay. I say as I knock over my sound booth. Okay. Detention. Why is detention? There's no teacher in detention. There's no teacher. And for some reason, it's just like dance rehearsal. And everyone...
gotta do something to pass the time in detention.
Well, I mean, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of it being, like, punishment.
Yeah, but it's like a speakeasy. Like, everyone is, like, getting in trouble so that they can go, dance. Dateline! 1962, these kids are getting in trouble to dance the sweetest sounds of Motown and Berry Gordy. Look at young Seawee Stubbs. He's doing the paid in place after midnight.
At that point, it's pretty much just another extracurricular activity.
Yeah, like, why isn't there a teacher in that room? There should be a teacher who is either asleep or, passed out drunk.
Maybe they just gave up because they couldn't stop the beat.
Well, it's No Child Left Behind. They didn't say anything about us. Us, 1962.
Well, I'm a big enough person to know when the beat has defeated me. Just all the teachers all like pull out like a jig string instruments, a cello, a violin, and start playing. It was just like,
It's
gentlemen,
been an honor teaching you
it's been an honor. I would never have served with a different group of people.
of 1960s teachers.
And then they just play really screechy stuff because none of them know how to play violin.
Yeah.
Except for the one music teacher.
So I was saying in our chat that the original Hairspray and the musical, when it came out on Broadway, helped me. So, sorry to get depressing, everyone. I suffer from body dysmorphia. I was a chubby kid growing up, and I always thought there was something wrong with that. Because Lilz and I know a person growing up who used to ridicule me for it. And this musical actually helped me be comfortable in my skin. Because the main character is someone overweight who is seen as, you know, a beacon of hope in a time of intolerance. And I always liked Tracy Turnblad. And also Ricky Lake was the only thing on when I was sick and home from school.
Well, that's nice.
That last part was a joke. Why isn't anyone laughing? It's because I mentioned
Because it was nice, and we're taking you at your word.
Exactly.
It's because you made us sad, Scott. You have to buy me dinner.
No, it's nice, and we're smothering you with affection, damn it.
Thank you.
Exactly. Because it's like, I'll admit, I still get like the tiniest bit choked up during Good Morning Baltimore because it's just such unabashed, just joy in the face of shit everywhere.
Yeah, because, like, everything she's singing about is miserable. I mean, is there anything that we want to talk about before we get into the tracks? Like how no one knows how to run a dance competition?
I mean, I might as well bring up the other thing that, like, has just been sort of, like, weighing on my mind in terms of, you know, trying to figure out how exactly I feel about this. Like, I already mentioned, like, that John Waters sort of stuff has been kind of neutered. I already mentioned, you know, John Travolta in both drag and a fat suit. And, like,
Tracy.
the whole sort of...
Sandy. Tracy.
Sandy.
Trandy.
Trendy?
Tracy.
Trucy.
Strassi. Sancy.
Did John just have a stroke?
We go together like him.
Oh, I feel like I'm just going to bring the whole mood completely down with this next point, but...
Go ahead.
Like, again, I feel like this probably hit and, like, actually hit in a sort of much nicer, much more kind of, you know, like a much more heart... Like, I mean, I can tell this movie has its heart in the right place as far as, like, all the addressing of, like, civil rights issues and stuff. But so many decades later, it's very, very hard, at least for me, to watch this and not think that this has a very big, you know, sort of white savior sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, every sort of thing relevant to civil rights happens because Tracy basically inspired it to happen. And that's really kind of tough to overlook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Like race, like, I mean, I mentioned earlier, like, you know, oh, Tracy solved all of the racism for all the black people, but that literally seems to be what happens in the movie. Like, I said it as a joke, and that's actually kind of what happens.
Yeah, that's upsetting, but, I mean, the suits in this movie are impeccable, and you know how I feel about suits.
You know what? You're right. I take it all back. I like these nice suits.
No, you're absolutely right.
John Travolta wear a dress and make it sparkly fun. I'm on board now.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, that is a problem, and we've had this problem in movies. I mean, just a few years ago, Green Book, like, that caused all this controversy because most of that film isn't true. Like,
well, I mean, no one really, like, in critical reviews of Hairspray at the time, no one really brought that sort of thing up. And I think that's just sort of a relic of the aughts more than anything. Because I feel like, you know, as we've gotten a lot more knowledgeable and, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement has gotten a lot more vocal, we've gotten a lot, like, it's, I mean, there's still a lot of work to do, but I feel like people have gotten a lot more cognizant of, like, those sort of, you know, themes popping up and can, like, just point them out, all that sort of stuff. I have a feeling it probably passed a lot of people, a lot of, you know, less knowledgeable people by in the aughts. But I don't know. I might be, I don't know. Am I overreacting or anything like that? I don't know.
no,
That's just something that was just sort of weighing on my mind as I watched it.
No,
every time they were just like, "The white girl is right."
I see that. I also, but they did do some things that I did like. I did like the fact that Queen Latifah was like, "No, don't do that. she also like pointed out the flaws of her thinking as well, but it's still very, obvious that we have the savior complex with this movie.
Then, like, I feel like with just like the limitations of a musical as just sort of like a storytelling medium and genre, I feel like if you want to address serious issues, I feel like sometimes the format kind of distills it in a way that kind of oversimplifies complex topics. And I can totally see how that's kind of jarring for a lot of people.
I just see someone pointing all of these problems out to Adam Shankman, and he's like, "But it's a movie about dancing and singing. What are you thinking about it? Stop thinking about it, because this is an issue." Like, I really feel that this is where a whole studio system not paying attention to the context and subtext, and they're just trying to adapt something. And this is kind of what we talked about in The Prom. Like, when you have a subject that has to do with some sort of rights, it's
I don't think there was like a deliberate effort to like inject that into the movie at all, but it's there, like probably unconsciously at the time it was crafted, but it's kind of there.
Yeah. I mean, this is just an example of how most films from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s really don't age well. I mean, honestly, a lot of films up until a few years ago still don't age very well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. But
I told you I was going to bring the mood down.
But Christopher Walken had the chocolates with fake animal droppings.
He slept on a mattress of whoopee cushions.
Have I killed the mood? I feel like I've just killed the mood entirely.
Well, you've been listening to Jukebox Zeros. Our theme song is done by Froggy and the French.
Hey, what are you doing?
No, all your points are valid, but but the real question is, how do we, if you were to adapt this today, like they were having trouble doing this for the live presentation, like that's basically why they got Jennifer Hudson. I almost said Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Hudson as Motormouth Mabel, because like she pointed out the flaws. I believe. I think she said something in an interview. I can't remember. If someone knows, please tweet me. Don't at me. Just politely DM us. But yeah, I believe that Jennifer Hudson in the past, because this was around the time of Dreamgirls, so like,
right.
She pointed out the flaws with the film like Hairspray, and then I guess they tried course correcting and gave her the role in the live presentation. It's like, yeah, you did bring the mood down. I just want to show you good movie musicals and bad movie musicals. I just want to love you. Want to get into the tracks?
Yeah, let's get into the tracks.
Yeah, that might brighten our spirits. Yeah, the
Remember
tracks.
I said this episode was going to be more fun for Jenna?
Yeah. Why'd you have to go ruin it?
Well, it's like I still have I still hold a really dear spot for this movie / musical in my heart. Like it's like, yeah, you can still acknowledge that maybe there is some stuff that just kind of falls apart a little bit with just current eyes.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there's still a lot to really enjoy about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure that all falls into like the whole overarching kind of discussion of art versus artists in many ways, but well, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, let me get into the tracks. Track number 1, we've got Good Morning Baltimore. Sung by Tracy.
Nikki Blonsky. Oh, we didn't even talk about how they searched for Nikki Blonsky.
Yeah.
They did like a flat out like old school like radio. This is that, you know, kitschy, dumb, fun element of making this movie. They did like a casting call on the radio to get Tracy.
Wow.
They did like a search, and Shankman wanted it to be like a fun process. So like Nikki Blonsky had to sing this song, and apparently she just like gave it her all. And this song is just fun. It's like Jenna was saying, like it's putting, you know, a happy face on a very bad situation.
Yeah, for all that I said, what I will say in this movie's favor is that a lot of the musical numbers are quite good.
Yeah. They really are. This song itself, also in this entire scene, like they're setting up the whole absurdity of this world, because this world, I love the fact that, you know, the Von Tussels are dumb. The guy who runs the the TV station, or maybe he runs the Hairspray company, whatever the fuck Paul Dooley does all day, is dumb. But it's like the Turnblads are smart. The Stubbs, that's Motormouth Mabel's family, they're smart, and like everyone else,
they're the only sane people in a crapsack world.
Yeah, it's basically like they're in Idiocracy. Why come you don't have a tap shoe?
I'm still just thinking about like that whole old school, you know, casting process you mentioned, and I'm still just very sort of mesmerized by that idea that that's how they got Nikki Blonsky. It's like a bunch of people in a boardroom got together and went like, okay, Rebel Wilson hasn't been invented yet. Let's find someone.
Actually, she had, because she was in the Ghost Rider movie at this point, the original one.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just go fuck myself then.
That okay.
I mean, you got Zac Efron right there.
So I interrupted what you were gonna. You meant literally. No, I don't.
I was bringing back a joke.
No, I.
She was doing a good job,
I'm
too.
having. Sorry, I'm having trouble. Oh, the feed is cutting out. Oh, crackle,
no.
crackle. Anyway, I interrupted something that you were gonna say, Scott.
I don't remember now. I'm just sad. Thanks for making me sad. I like this musical, and now you're making me feel bad. You have to buy me dinner.
If I could, I would. That's not even a joke.
Oh,
I want to buy you tacos.
I do remember what I was going to say. So when Nikki Blonsky had her first day on set, Travolta comes up to her and goes, "Say hello to Mama! Come here to Mama!"
Okay.
It's weird that I can just vividly picture this happening.
Yeah.
Was he wearing the fat suit?
No.
So it's just John Travolta just hugging this incredibly confused and bewildered child.
Well, keep in mind, it was John Travolta, so, like, getting a hug from Danny Zuko, like, for someone who is such a musical theater person, must have meant the world to her.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Also, the other thing I realized about this and Shankman's next musical that he did after this, which was Rock of Ages. So John Travolta is the star of this one. Tom Cruise is the star of anyone. Can anyone connect the dots?
Scientology.
Yeah. So
Thetan counts. Hail Thetan.
anyways, it just makes me wonder. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm seeing a trend.
Cool.
Is Jason Lee and Giovanni Ribisi in his next films?
Speaking of trends, track number 2. The Nicest Kids in Town, sung by Corny and council members.
See them frown 'cause they're the nicest kids in town. Oh, every afternoon you turn your TV on. Yeah, we know you turn the sound up when your parents are gone, yeah.
Yeah, good old James Marsden and his pipes. Okay.
It is so weird that, like, the little peanut gallery of the show are referred to as council members. It makes the whole thing sound so much more clandestine.
It's like the Musketeers. It's supposed to be like that and the Bandstanders or whatever they were called.
Yeah, but council implies something darker.
For the children. Okay, so what I want to say is when we finally get to do live shows, Lilz, I want to find that purple suit, and I want to come out in the Corny Collins purple suit. His suit and Seaweed suits were, like, impeccable. Love Seaweed suits. Seaweed's little used car salesman suit that he had at the end of the movie.
The mustard-colored suit.
Yeah.
Just everybody's costumes in this are top tier.
After that, we got track number 3, It Takes Two.
I'm your man and you're my girl. That I'm the sea and you're the pearl. It takes two, baby. It takes two. A king ain't a king without the power behind the throne.
Sung by Link/Zac Efron. This, of course, a cover of the... Okay, that joke got away with me for immediately. I was trying to make a It Takes Two joke, but I can't remember the name of the artist. It's Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. I fucked up, okay?
It takes two to make a thing go right. Zac Efron's walking out of frame. You better go get him.
It was that's the song.
Yeah, and we barely hear it in the stage show. We hear it a ton, but like in this movie, it's just him going, "It takes two, baby." That's it.
I mean, the full thing is on the soundtrack, but it's just kind of like, hey, Zac Efron, you're fresh off High School Musical. Let's get everybody swooning, all the teenage girls.
Yeah,
Oh.
you made all of these Disney Channel kids horny. How would you like to make the rest of the country horny?
You know, like their aunts and their mothers.
Not just horny, but horny in a really uncomfortable way.
I mean, because like,
The kind of horny that you look at it and be like, should I be horny about this?
okay, so we'll
I don't
talk
feel
about.
like I should be horny.
Am I too
We'll
old
talk
to be
about-
horny about this?
But I am horny.
We'll talk about it when we get to Without
I'm so
Love.
conflicted over my horniness.
We'll talk about it when we get to Without Love, but like, did anyone else get the vibe that after a while, not only was Tracy in love with Link, but like Edna Turnblad was also in love with Link
Yeah, a little bit.
and his winks?
I mean, I thought that was intentional.
Did anyone else want Link to do the Lucille Bluth wink? The
Probably couldn't see it over the podcast, but I was also attempting the
Yeah.
Lucille Bluth wink.
Now I'm just trying to figure out where I could fit a Gene Parmesan joke into this.
But
Track
hold on. What
Yep.
if Zac Efron was Gene Parmesan?
Just unmasks himself during the show, and everyone's disappointed except Lucille Bluth. It's like,
rest in
What
peace,
just
Jessica
happened?
Walters.
yeah, rest in peace, Jessica Walters.
Yeah, It Takes Two is a song that's incredibly unmemorable that they didn't even give a shit about it.
Yeah. That leads us into track number 4, The Legend of Miss Baltimore Crabs.
On my show, you'll never find a thrusting hip or bumping ground.
What's that? A dance for fleas and ticks?
Oh, you should have seen my bag of tricks. Oh, I hit the stage, but tons of plays. Well, belting Aida, preparing for play. That triple somersault is how I clinched Miss Baltimore Crab.
Sung by Velma and the council members.
I actually like this song. I like her villain song because it just shows what a freaking piece of garbage Michelle Pfeiffer's character is. And this was before they had the de-aging technology, so that young Michelle Pfeiffer was Michelle Pfeiffer with like you know,
Age makeup.
like a shit ton of like caked on makeup. And do you think all of the boys, when they're like, okay, you're going to lift up Michelle Pfeiffer, they're like, yes, yeah. Because to get into...
Yes, I do think all the boys lifting Michelle Pfeiffer up were like, yes, yeah. That is literally what I thought, Scott.
Well,
You nailed it. You nailed my thought process perfectly.
Shut
Michelle
up.
Pfeiffer. Yes, yeah.
You broke my heart. You made me sad. You can listen to the playback on this, and I'm just getting... Oh, wait, I think you're editing this one. I'm going to listen to the playback, or you are, and I'm just going to be all Eeyore. Oh, man. Now I don't know if I like it. But speaking of weird crushes, Michelle Pfeiffer and Marissa Tomei were,
tie-in.
were weird
What a
crushes.
segue.
I had, as a kid, because of Batman Returns, I had the biggest crush on Michelle Pfeiffer.
I mean, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but for an 8-year-old boy,
I mean, why not?
Exactly, yeah. Like, I mean, it's Catwoman.
I mean,
okay.
Zac Efron
All
made
right,
all
I'm
those
lying.
people
It
horny.
wasn't Catwoman. It was the Fabulous Baker Boys. It was Grease 2.
I mean, hella niche, but I respect.
Yeah, and Marissa Tomei was because of My Cousin Vinny. Obviously.
I mean, Zac Efron made all those aunts horny, so why not? I assume.
Yes. And what about Sex on the Stick, Allison Janney? Hubba hubba. We didn't even talk about Allison Janney yet.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
because,
boy.
I mean, it's not like a huge role in it, but it's like,
I mean, she
definitely does the most with it.
Yeah, she does all she can with that role.
She's pretty much playing kind of the same role that she played in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Was she also like a Jesus-y parental figure in that movie?
She was a horny guidance counselor who wrote Harlequin novels but tried to act like she was above it all.
Oh.
The more you know.
Track number 5. Track number 5 is I Can Hear the Bells.
And I can hear the bells. My head is spinning. I can hear the bells. Something's beginning. Everybody says that a girl who looks like me can't win his love. Well, just wait and see, 'cause I can hear the bells. Just
This is-
wedding bells, I assume.
Yeah,
was
I
the
did-
thing they were getting at.
Yeah, I love that he meets her for the first time pretty much when she calls herself a naughty girl and slaps herself on the butt. It's like, hey, nice dancing. What? It's not weird. Why are you making it weird, everyone? I'm Zac Efron. Wink.
I mean, I'll say that this song just absolutely nails just
Stalking culture?
teenage girl crushdom, where it's just like, okay, I'm already writing the story in my head of our lifelong love, even though I've literally only met you for like 10 seconds.
But she's flat out stalking him.
Yeah, like, I mean, this is just some like straight up Tina Belcher, like awkward.
What I will say
can
about
hear
So
the butts.
silly and over the top.
What I will say about this song is I thought it was really clever. Like every time there's like that the world just kept moving on around,
Tracy.
around Tracy's
Tacy?
song number.
Stacy?
That
Shandy.
Sandy.
Shrandy.
Around Tracy's musical number, so like she'd just be like doing stuff, and then just get hit with a dodgeball, or like she'd like have a bite of a sandwich or something, and just sing with her mouth full.
I would have loved to
thought
see a
that-
scene
I
where
thought that
she's
was
getting
pretty
held
clever.
up and she's like, step 1. And she's like giving a guy her purse.
Yes, because of all those muggers in high schools.
Next track, goddammit.
Track number 6, Lady's Choice, also by Link, Zac Efron.
Fact is, you never did see. Take me home and then unwrap me. Shop around and go down. I've got to be the lady's choice. The lady's choice. Hey, little girl looking for a sale.
Every time you say Link, I just think of Link Neal from Good Mythical Morning.
I think of Link from The Legend of Zelda.
But yeah.
Same.
Da, 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 da.
So yeah, ladies' choice. Okay,
Which
this
one
scene,
is that one again?
It's the one at the sock hop where they barricaded off who can dance in what areas.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
And also, this song was not in the original musical.
Yeah, they
wasn't?
wrote it so that it could get nominated for an Oscar. Spoiler alert, it did not.
Ah.
Also, it's a showcase for Zac Efron to heartthrob on everybody.
Isn't that right, Zach?
Oh boy, I just want to make it abundantly clear. I do not have Zac Efron tied up immediately behind me with duct tape.
Why did you wink?
I am most certainly not winking. Scott is making that up.
Zac Efron is blinking repeatedly.
No, he's not. Stop. I mean, of course he's not. He's not here.
I think you're gonna have to change his giant adult diapers.
Okay. Track number 7 is a reprise of The Nicest Kids in Town.
Yeah,
That's
but
basically...
there's no reprise. It's just Aunt Tracy.
Go Tracy, go Tracy.
Pretty much.
Christopher Walken's like, go Tracy, go Tracy. Little girl.
After that, we got track number 8, The New Girl in Town.
The new girl in town seems to dance on air. The new girl in town, she's got the coolest hair. You better tell the homecoming queen, so hold on to her crown. Oh, whoa, 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 or she's gonna lose it to the new girl in town.
Which,
I don't like this song.
No?
No. So I think part of the reason why I do like this movie musical a lot is because it reminds me a lot of Little Shop, because they have basically those three, sirens, like chorus girls singing. You know what I'm talking about? The three
Yeah, like
who
the
are
Greek chorus kind of thing.
Yeah, because they show up in Welcome to the 60s, and they're also the three girls in Mr. Pinky's shop.
I mean, they only show up for like a couple of numbers, while the ones in Little Shop just were like perpetual, observant narrators in a way.
Why are you breaking my heart?
What? You can't get angry at me at that. That's true.
To quote Enrique Iglesias, I could have been everyone's hero. Well, anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Track number 9, Welcome to the 60s. Tracy, Edna, the Dynamites, and hefty hideaway employees.
Hey Tracy, hey baby, look at me. I'm the cutest chickie that you ever did see. Hey Tracy, hey baby, look at us. Where is there a team that's half as fabulous? I let go the past now. Say hello to this red carpet ride. Yes, I know that the world's spinning fast.
Hey Tracy, hey baby, look at me. I'm the cutest chickie
that you ever did see.
I will say that the difference between Travolta and Harvey Fierstein is... So Harvey Fierstein's just using his voice. Travolta created the character of Edna Turnblad, and I just love Fierstein because when he sings, he's just like, hey Tracy, hey baby, look at me. I'm the cutest chickie that you ever did see. I also like this song. One thing that they didn't do that they do in the regular stage show is Mr. Pinky is supposed to be singing. But I guess you don't want Jerry Stiller to sing.
Yeah, I assume Jerry Stiller put the kibosh on that.
I'm not singing!
That's not a thing that I do!
Yeah. So this song itself...
That's our Jerry Stillers.
Yeah.
They're not very good.
No. There's only one Jerry Stiller. But yeah, so this song I do love. When I saw it the first time, I love how Travolta's like, oh, those two women in the bar look so glamorous, and it's two pregnant women drinking martinis. Which I guess was a thing in the 60s.
I mean, I think Mad Men was sort of airing around this time, so it's like, hey,
2 years later,
let's exploit the dark side of the 60s, where everybody smoked and littered.
It's okay though, because John Hamm. Because John Hamm's lantern-like jaw.
Oh man, I want to see John Hamm as Edna Turnblad.
Weirdly enough, I can kind of get behind that casting.
you know he would do it too.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, John Hamm is like a secret great comedian, so I'm sure he would give it his all.
I feel like if they made this today, they really should cast. I don't like the fact that they casted Travolta because he's a big name. I want them to give someone who is either a theater actor or a member of the LGBTQ community a chance.
God, yeah.
Or both.
Yeah. Like Nathan Lane.
Okay, that's also some really inspired casting right there.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit better than John Travolta.
Yeah.
But I'm specifically trying to think of like actors of the larger variety for this instance.
Well, so the top three
I'm kind
Ednas
of coming up short.
The three Ednas back to back who went were Firestein. Then it was oh my god,
Michael McKean was Firestein at one point.
That was years later. That was like towards the. I saw Michael McKean as Edna, and I saw George Wendt also. It was
George Wendt. Wow.
Yeah, the three back to back were Firestein, Bruce Valanche, and John Pignette.
Can Bruce Valanche sing?
About as well as Harvey Firestein can.
Well,
like for Edna Turnblad, you don't have to sing that well.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Yeah. But yeah. Also, why did they have to do that ridiculous shot of like she's in her dressing room? She's in her bloomers. Like,
I don't know. I guess maybe for the novelty of like, oh, it's John Travolta.
I was actually being facetious. I have right here
skivvies.
why Travolta asked for that scene to be in the movie.
Really?
Is anyone shocked at this point with Travolta?
No,
well,
not really.
Oh, how about Nicolas Cage? If you're gonna go with
Okay, I want. This is another alternate universe I want to live in.
Okay, I'm
Hey
I'm
Tracy,
on board now.
hey baby,
Hey, baby, look
at me.
I'm the cutest little chickie that you ever did see.
Or Pacino. Tracy, I got a great ass. Yeah, Pacino as Edna Turnblad and De Niro as Wilbur. Martin
This took a
Scorsese's Hairspray.
Where do we fit Joe Pesci into this?
And
He's
where's
Link
Leonardo
Larkin.
DiCaprio?
Is Joe Pesci Link in this instance?
Yeah, I said Joe Pesci's Link Larkin, and DiCaprio is Corny Collins.
Perfect.
Well,
And Ray Liotta is the Paul Dooley role.
well then.
That's when Layla by Eric Clapton starts playing just the piano part. Ever since I was a little girl dancing on TV, I always wanted to be a wise guy.
Track 10, Run and Tell That.
Sweeter the juice. I can say it ain't so, but darling, what's the use? The darker the chocolate, the richer the taste. And that's where it's at. Yeah, baby, run and tell that. Oh, sugar, run and tell that. Hey, yeah, I can see people.
My favorite song in the entire musical.
This one was very good.
This song
yes.
and what's the Queen Latifah
The next
song.
one?
No, 2 songs from now. But Run and Tell That is my favorite song.
That's not how I'm seeing it on the Wikipedia track list. That one's next, I believe.
I thought Big Blonde and Beautiful was next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Queen Latifah song.
No, she also does the I've Been Places or
I know where I've been.
I know where I've been.
You weren't talking about that Queen Latifah. Okay, you were talking about a different Queen Latifah song.
You know, she does sing 3 songs in this musical. But yes, Run and Tell That is my favorite song in this musical because Seaweed, as I said before, is the greatest character. He's more developed. Did you see the original stage version, Jenna?
I have not, unfortunately.
He's more cognizant of how like ignorant people are. And I just always thought that Seaweed was like the coolest character because like he doesn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, he is absolutely the cool don't give a fuck guy.
Yeah. I also love when we meet him, he's like, I do this dance to attract the opposite sex. Like a mating dance?
It's
Now
a flirting dance.
Now I just picture that dance
a very
from...
clinical way to put it.
Now I just picture that dance from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, God.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yep, just the belly dance.
Yeah.
As I attempt to
As I try to
recreate.
get the opposite sex. But yeah.
We all just sit in the corner with like wine.
Also, it's a travesty that Elijah Kelly, who is so goddamn talented, he doesn't really have many credits. He was in this, he was in Lee Daniels' The Butler, and I think he was also in The Wiz Live on NBC.
That is
yeah?
criminal. That is downright criminal
that's a shame.
that he did not go on to bigger things.
He is
since
a
Hairspray.
fucking national treasure. And this movie, like, his facial expressions. Can anyone tell that I love this man? Like,
I can see
Yeah,
it.
I'm looking on Wikipedia. He does not have a lot of film credits to his name after Hairspray.
please tell
And
me he at least has theater.
Disappointing. It doesn't list his theater credits.
Maybe it's like its own separate IMDb or Internet Theater database.
I'm looking on
ITV?
Wikipedia.
All right, this is what we do. We reboot Bad Boys with him and Chris Red.
All right.
I just
Anyway.
want... Cut that part out.
Track number 11, Big Blonde and Beautiful by Motormouth / Queen Latifah.
Because I'm big, blonde, and beautiful. Face the fact is simply irrefutable. No one wants a meal that only offers the least. When girl, we're serving up the whole damn feast.
It should have been Aretha Franklin.
I don't know. I kind of like this song personally.
Yeah. Oh, I like the song too. But this
totally.
this should have been Aretha Franklin. Like, this is an Aretha Franklin song. Right?
Yeah, I can see
Lilz-
that.
Lilz, Zac
What?
Efron is running away. He cut his
No,
clothes.
he's not. I'm telling you that Zach. Excuse me, 1 second. Zac Efron running away.
Should we call the cops?
Anyway, that was apropos of nothing.
Yeah, we weren't going to call the cops or anything.
No, definitely not.
Of course. Why would you even mention that?
You can't hear the blinking on the microphone. But yeah, Big Blonde and Beautiful was like all of Queen Latifah's songs are. I mean, it's fucking Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Queen is in her title.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she's great.
She's great. She's low key great.
Haley was saying that Queen Latifah was the best part of this movie because she was just like, I think it was the scene when they were doing Corny and her were talking about the end of the month, and then they cut to Amber, and I just love when Queen Latifah goes, "Excuse me." Can you bring the camera? Yeah. I will say that in this version, I do like how they didn't have a Mr. Von Tussle. It's clear that literally Michelle Pfeiffer fucked him to death. That's what's implied.
Really?
Yeah, she says in the joke shop, Mr. Von Tussle is no longer with us. He was smothered to death.
Oh boy. Another thing that completely passed me by. And probably passed Christopher Walken by, too.
I mean, it kind of passed me, too, because it's like, I guess I missed the smothered part.
I mean, I think I was just kind of hung up on the fact that, like, that whole number was Michelle Pfeiffer really, 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 really violently horny for Christopher Walken.
I mean, aren't we all violently horny for Christopher Walken?
Who wouldn't?
Okay, point, but still. After Big Blonde and Beautiful is...
Wait, I have a question. Hold on. Now, when Christopher Walken tries to seduce you, is he dressed as Captain Coons from... is he dressed as his character from Pulp Fiction, or Captain Hook, or Wilbur Turnblad?
How about option D, the Continental?
Oh yeah, that's too obvious.
He's
option
wow,
D.
wow.
In my case, he's dressed as his character from Seven Psychopaths.
How about no?
I don't want to.
Or what if he's like the headless horseman, with, like the jagged teeth and just yelling all the time, just "Rah! Rah!"
He's dressed as the ant from Ants.
He's post-electrocution Max Shrek.
Or he's the whatchamacallit, the janitor from Joe Dirt.
You tell me that again, I'll stab your face.
My name is Gert Frobe. Oh, it would be the dad from Blast from the Past. That's who he's dressed as.
Okay, there we go. We're
we
all
go.
in agreement.
Yeah.
All in agreement. Blah, 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 blah. Track number 12. A reprise of Big Blonde and Beautiful with Velma and Edna.
Oh, Wilbur, I feel like a princess. Come on and take me to the ball.
I bet you're tired of heavy lifting. Get your hands on something small.
Because I'm a big
Blonde
and beautiful. It's time to face the facts and zero beautiful.
This was added at the request of Michelle Pfeiffer. It was supposed to be dialogue. Yeah.
That's
I didn't like this version.
That's when Edna is getting ready to be horny for her husband, while Velma
Who is this actress who's playing Edna? This fetching young ingenue.
While Velma is getting ready to engage in some clandestine extramarital affairs.
Yeah, of the heart.
Evil extramarital affairs.
Of the heart.
Oh yes, for nefarious purposes.
For sexuals and whatnots. What is that line? That's a line from Two Broke Girls. She's like, I'll be over for sexuals and whatnots.
That's when we almost very nearly get that trope of like the liar revealed.
Yeah.
Or am I thinking of like, the misunderstanding or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The turn.
Yeah.
Before the prestige.
And it's not very like... It's not very convincing. Maybe because it's entirely Christopher Walken and no amount of like horniness from Michelle Pfeiffer can make him look like he's into it.
If anything, he's just more very indifferent and oblivious to it.
This is weird.
Like when Edna walks in and sees Michelle Pfeiffer all over him, it like legitimately looks like Michelle Pfeiffer is just attacking Christopher Walken, and there's like nothing, untoward or sexual going on at all.
Yeah, I did not like this reprise.
After that, we got track 13, You're Timeless to Me by Wilbur and Edna.
Styles keep a-changing, the world's rearranging, but Edna, you're timeless to me. Hemlines are shorter, a beer across the quarter, but time cannot take what comes free. You're like a stinky old cheese, babe.
Hated this song. I always skip past this song.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, understandably, like on the soundtrack, it's not the strongest because it's really just a number that needs like the visuals of Christopher Walken and John Travolta doing a tango and like a Fred and Ginger style waltz together.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not a fan. I don't know what to tell you. I did not like it. It was boring.
I mean, I feel like it was definitely one of those ones where it's like, okay, it's necessary for the characters just to be like, hey, I still love you. This was all a complete misunderstanding.
I mean, I liked the live version where it was Martin Short, because Martin Short does his, like, Martin Short thing where he puts his hand on his stomach and just wiggles back and forth as he's dancing. He's doing his, like, what is it, Gus Grimley?
Ed Grimley.
Ed Grimley. Who's Gus Grimley?
I shouldn't know that instead of you. Track number 14.
Gus Grimley was Colin Hanks' character on Fargo.
Track number 14, I Know Where I've Been. Once again, Queen Latifah as Motormouth Maybelle.
And there's pride in my heart, 'cause I know where I'm going. Yes, I do. And I know where I've been.
That's the one that you were thinking of, wasn't it?
Such a good song. Such a good song. Anyways, I mean, it's just a beautiful song, but it just seems it doesn't feel like it fits into the scene.
Yeah, I would say it might not even really fit into the movie because it's this all of a sudden very, very sort of intense and dour sort of turn into what's been up to this point, or at least presenting itself as very loose and freewheeling, and
it's done differently.
Very
irreverent.
Irreverent.
It's much different in the show, and it's more of a. To go back to the Howard Ashman, it's more of an I want song. It's like she wants change. She wants to have a better future for her family. The way they do it in this one is kind of depressing.
But it's not as depressing in the live version?
No, I don't know what the difference is. Oh, it's because they're in the record store still. They're still at the whatchamacallit. They're still at the big bold and beautiful, big blonde and beautiful,
The record shop, yeah.
Yeah, but the potluck that they're having. Where, once again, when they have Travolta see, like, a braised pork roast, it's like, that's a little too much.
Track number 15, Without Love. Link, Tracy, Seaweed, Penny, and Detention Kids.
I like this song, too.
Without love, life is like a beat that you can follow. Without love,
life is Doris Day at the Apollo.
Darling, I'll be yours forever, 'cause I never wanna be without love. So darling, never set me free.
So apparently Shankman made Zac Efron make out for over an hour on like several different takes with the framed photo. Didn't use it because he was just fucking with Zac Efron. Isn't that right, Zach?
For the last time,
right
Zac,
here.
for the last time, Zac Efron is not in my house.
So you won't mind that he had made a rope with some sheets and is going out the window.
Excuse me 1 second. See, that would have been funnier if it had actually stopped video when I clicked it. Never mind. Track number 16, it's Hairspray. Corny and the council members.
What gives a girl power and punch? Is it charm? Is it poise? No, it's hairspray. What gets a gal asked out to lunch? Is it brains? Is it dough? No, it's hairspray. If you take a ride with O'Can at your side, then your flip will be gone with the wind.
Yeah, that one.
It's a song about hairspray.
Yeah, but it does end with give her a good stiff one.
Yep.
Once
again, irreverence.
Yep, irreverence that probably hit a lot better back in the aughts.
Right. Also, if it was Jake Gyllenhaal in that role like they originally wanted, knowing what a Lothario he is, it would come off so much creepier. Yeah.
After that, we got track 17, the big show-stopping number that I guess is like the one that the musical is famous for. You Can't Stop the Beat.
Yep.
This is the most famous song from the entire.
The signature song, if you will.
Yep.
Keep spinning round and round in my heart, keeping time to the speed of sound of love. I heard the drums and I found my way. 'Cause you can't stop the beat. Ever since we first saw the light, I met a woman like to shake it on a Saturday night. So I'm gonna shake and shimmy it with all of my might today.
And apparently it's so fast that people were like hyperventilating because you have to sing everything so fast. So like that's why they had to keep cutting it up and adding different things to go in between because people couldn't breathe. I just picture, you can't stop the...
It's a Micro Machine song.
Also, in this scene, you have Ricky Lake as one of the judges. It's Adam Shankman, Mark Shaman, who, if Mark Shaman's name sounds familiar, he wrote Mary Poppins Returns. He ripped off the Sherman Brothers.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, this song is basically it's all over the place. Especially Travolta.
It kind of is.
Especially Travolta going, "You can't stop my knife and fork when I see a Christmas ham, Sandy, Tracy, little girl."
Oh, it's funny because she eats.
Yeah, we get it.
You've only made that joke 500 times.
Ugh.
Not you. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's basically the way to just wrap up everybody's plot line in like a couple verses.
It kind of is. It's the Deus Ex Machina song in a way.
Anyone else uncomfortable when Travolta was dancing with that little girl?
Little bit, yeah.
With little Inez.
One of those things where it's like, it seems innocuous at the time, but then looking back, it's just like...
Yeah, based on everything we know about John Travolta now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow, I get to dance with John Travolta. Years later, I got to dance with John Travolta. Should have been Nicolas Cage.
All these alternate universes, and I think that's the one I want to be in.
You can't stop my dancing feet when I grab a Christmas ham.
I still want to see the Tom Hanks one. You can't stop my dancing feet when I see a Christmas buzz.
The next ones are end credits songs. Should I make mention of these too?
Yeah, because they were in the original show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that We've Got So Far to Go, I think, is the original one.
Yeah, that's track number 18. Come So Far, Got So Far to Go, the end credits version. Between Latifah, Zac Efron, Nikki Blonsky, and Elijah Kelly.
Yeah, and the next one, that one I don't remember as much, but the track after that, there's a story to it.
Yep.
I did not actually watch the credits, so I could not really tell you anything about these next two songs. We got track number 19, Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now.
Once I used to fidget 'cause I just sat home, but now I'm just like Gidget and I gotta get to roll. So say arrivederci, toodaloo, and ciao, 'cause Mama, I'm a big girl now. Oh, stop, don't, no, please, stop, don't, no, please.
Sung by Ricky Lake, Marissa Jarrett Wincourt, Nikki Blonsky, and Harvey Fierstein.
Yeah, so that was in the original show, and it's originally sang by Amber, Tracy, and Penny. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Amanda Bynes. Poor Amanda Bynes. But yeah, so
she's got her own issues to work out.
So that was sung by them, and they really wanted it to be in the musical, and it didn't fit. So they basically are like, hey, what if we got all the Tracys? And Travolta's like, do you want me to sing too? And they're like, nah, we're good.
I'm going to do it.
No.
Executive privilege.
No.
I don't think that's not what that means.
Sandy.
You always say that when you want to win.
Fine, you either cast Michelle Pfeiffer or my good friend Olivia Elton-John.
I know what I said.
Who's
It's
Olivia Elton-John?
Shut up and do it.
I just picture Elton John in the Sandy wig.
And like,
it's a little
the
bit
black
Sandy. Tell me about it, stirred. You're a Travolta.
And I think it's gonna be a hairspray time. That's all I got.
Goodbye, Johnny T. Seems to me you're just like a candle in the Travolta.
Hold me closer, tiny Walken.
Little Walken.
And that leads us to the final track. Track number 20, Cooties, sung by Amy Allen.
Whoever the fuck that is.
I believe she's the lead singer of the ska punk band The Interrupters.
Oh, really?
Yep. Like I said, I didn't watch the credits, so I don't really know anything about this song.
I think this was like another song that was like originally in like the stage musical. I think it's like Amber's song.
Yeah, because they say that she has cooties in the original show, and then what's her name? Tracy turns up in a cooties dress in the movie.
Ah.
So I guess they did it for the show. But like, if you're going to get a ska band, you couldn't get the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones? I would never use hairspray.
They got
use pomade.
I mean, they got someone who fronts a ska punk band. Does that mean that she's basically singing a ska punk version of this night song that's ostensibly supposed to be happening in the early 60s?
I mean, there are trumpets on the soundtrack, so I'm guessing yes.
Okay. Interesting choice.
They couldn't get Gwen Stefani? Or
No,
anyone
they could
from
not.
Real Big Fish?
No, they could not, Scott. You keep asking these obvious questions.
Lilz, Zac Efron's
Yes,
behind
Scott.
you with a knife.
Yeah, he'll do that. I mean, no, he won't. Not that I would know, because he's not here.
Wow, you're holding that knife really well. Stopping it really well.
No, I'm not.
Control and finesse.
You are both making this up.
No. Oh my
No.
God. You just
No.
broke Zac Efron's hand.
I did no such thing. This is all entirely fabricated.
I was waiting for you to just be like, I'm trying to do a podcast.
No, I'm just too focused. I mean, no. Just not putting in any effort to like act like I'm not doing this. Should we get to our final rating, Scott?
Yeah, we have a rating system on this fine podcast. If it's a good musical, it's hell of a musical. If it's bad musical, it's hell is a musical. If it's meh, it's Purgatory Pete's Razzmatazz Factory. So, Jenna, what do you give this?
I still say that it is a hell of a musical. Because there's still genuinely a lot to enjoy, and even if like a lot of the bigger issues are overly simplified, the fact that it's even addressing it at all over, say, some other musicals like Grease.
No.
I really fucking hate Grease, by the way.
Oh, we do too.
Grease
thank God.
Grease is putrid.
Oh God, it is super overrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that it's at least saying something of substance as opposed to other musicals out there that are just pure fluff, at least elevates it higher in my book.
Lils?
I'm going to have to go with Purgatory Pete, just because, like, as I mentioned, my thoughts on this are very complicated, and, I mean, I already said everything that I was going to say about it, and once again, I reiterate, I'm sure their hearts were in the right place. So, like, even after all this talking about it, I'm still not sure whether I can categorically say whether I dislike it or not. So I'm just going to remain completely in the middle and just completely neutral where I can.
Like Avril Lavigne, you're complicated?
Yes.
I get it. I'm with you. Skater Boy. Other songs that she does?
Yep.
I'm giving
Girlfriend.
this... Girlfriend. I'm giving this a hell of a musical because it's you know, a good musical will make you think. It will address an issue that needs to be addressed, but at the same time, it will do some, you know, song and dance pizzazz, which I like about this. Do I think they could have handled the source material better? Absolutely. I mean, they probably should have. Do I think they had the writers in 2007 to write the movie correctly? No, I don't. And I would like to see a new version of this done, not the live version, but I would like to see a different screen adaptation. I mean, hell, they're doing it with West Side Story. They can easily do it with this.
Would you still cast Harvey Fierstein in the Edna role for like a modern remake of it, knowing like all the new actors that we know now?
Honestly,
if you say James Corden, I'm leaving.
No, I would never say James Corden.
Same.
Honestly, Edna doesn't really have to be fat because you could cast someone in a fat suit. So you can always do Andrew Rannells. But I still like the idea of Nathan Lane.
Or if we want to still go like the original drag queen route in honor of Divine, I could easily see Ginger Minge taking on the role of Edna Turnblad.
Yeah.
That just threw like Jinx Monsoon into my head too. But
Jinx Monsoon would
But
be
Jinx
so
Monsoon
good.
is actually a good singer, so maybe that wouldn't quite work. Or maybe I don't give a shit because Jinx Monsoon fucking rules.
I have no point of context. But yes, I agree with both of what you said. So
look up Cartoons and Vodka by Jinx Monsoon. It's fucking amazing.
It's wonderful.
Hey, Lilz, for the first time ever, what are we doing next month?
Next month we are doing The Greatest Showman.
Is Zach sticking around for that?
I think he's actually in that.
Shut up.
Zac Efron is in The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
Yes.
Guys.
So Jenna, thank you for doing this.
Yes,
Where can
thank you
people
for
check you
so
out?
much. You can check me out on Instagram at The Dramatic Monarch. I do a lot of cosplay, a lot of art. You can also catch my live stream on the Facebook group Weird Crushes, a scorchingly silly stream where my boyfriend and I take different themes of like, say like the last deck we did, we just we debated over who are the hunkiest Simpsons B characters.
Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders, yes, but like
I think I suggested Carl Carlson.
oh yeah, we actually had a matchup between Carl and Lenny for charisma.
Oh boy.
definitely
Who was the
Carl.
most charismatic of the two?
There's got to be something to make Lenny so obsessed over him.
Exactly, and just to make Mount
Carlson.
Carl more.
Weird question. Did you have Hank Scorpio?
Yes, we did have Hank Scorpio in the
Hank
deck.
Scorpio should have won. Hank Scorpio, the most charismatic character on The Simpsons.
Yeah, I think he definitely won his round.
Sugar. Sorry it's not in packets. Do you want any cream?
No.
No one ever picks Italy. So yeah, you should definitely check Weird Crushes out, just as you should check out Scott and my respective podcasts. Scott has Writer's Bagel Basket, which focuses on childhood nostalgia in the form of cartoons, movies, episodes of TV shows. And I have my podcast Jukebox Zeros, in which my friend Pat and I review albums considered the worst of all time, and it's not always good.
And I might have another...
As our Nostalgia Critics The Wall episode can attest.
Yep. Again, I apologize so profoundly to choosing that and burying ourselves in that dribble.
It's over now.
I might have...
back and laugh and weep.
Mostly weep.
And at this point, I don't know if it's been released, but I might have another project with Chris Brown out at this moment.
Oh,
but
you're working on that
I won't
thing.
know. So
I might as well also say then, check out the other Zero Science podcasts.
Yeah.
Clamshell Case Files, Old Men Yell at Cloud, and the rest.
Yep. And my mini-series I did with Chris, Where in the World is Stephen Quincy Urkel?
Definitely check that one out. That's a good one.
And remember... Hey, Lily, hey, baby, look at me. I'm the cutest podcaster you ever did see.
Oh.
That's how you end it. With Lilz and Scott.
Zero science.